Welcome to the Anti-Noise Experience, a podcast, endurance, noise, and random musings. It is Monday night, August 24th, 9 p.m. here in Bakersfield, California, and this is Endurance Noise Daily. A little bit of a London Marathon preview. It's going to be on October 4th, and it's going to be on a special course in the St. James Park. I believe it's going to be a pretty short loop, only a couple kilometers, and I think they were actually talking about it possibly been where he was going to try and do his sub 2 hour, 159 Kipchoge. Of course, Kipchoge is going to be there with his 201.39 PB and Bekele with his 201.41 PB. I like how the Europeans call it PB, personal best, instead of personal record. Not really sure why in America we call it personal record. And then Brigid Kosgei with her 214.04 is leading the women's field. I remember watching that Chicago race, and it was just phenomenal how she just crushed that race. Interesting, British legend Mo Farah is going to be part of the event, but he's not going to be running in the actual race. Well, he is in the race, but he's going to be a pacemaker, and he's going to try and run the 2:11:30 Olympic standard, trying to help his countrymen and other people, I guess, get that Olympic standard. Not very many Americans are going to be doing it. Only 3 are going to be doing this only world major, and it's going to be Jared Ward, Sara Hall, and Molly Seidel. Ward came in 27th at the Olympic trials. He had a really off day. Hall DNF'd. And Seidel, of course, made the team by coming in second in her marathon debut. And this will be her first world major, obviously, because the Olympic trials was her first marathon. She qualified for that with a half marathon. And so London usually always has the best race. They have the most money. They bring in all the studs. And, of course, this year it's not too difficult to be the best race because the only other world major was the Tokyo Marathon, which only had the pro race, and that was a phenomenal race. A lot of really fast times at that race. So this London race should be quite interesting. Besides Kipchoge and Bekele, there's just tons and tons of guys. The men's feature race has 5 sub 240 guys, 8 sub 205, and 11 under 206. The women have 4 under 219, 6 under 220, and 9 under 223. So it should be pretty quick. One notable American missing on the starting list is Galen Rupp. His personal best is 206.07, which just ranks him 12th amongst the London entrants, and it would give him a chance to beat the American record, which is 205.38. But it seems that I saw something that he's training for 5Ks and 10Ks. Getting in some speed work because he's been having some leg issues over the past few years and has not been able to do that. So he will not be at London. It says that he has 9 career marathons, just 3 of them featured pacemakers. And so he's run Prague in 206.07, Chicago 206.21. And so he mainly has been running like the Olympic ones. And he's, of course, done really well. So the question will be, will he be doing Abu Dhabi or Valencia, or just wait till 2021 to run a race? We could do Boston, but that's kind of close to the Olympic marathon trials. So I may not run another marathon till the Olympics, which coming up in Tokyo, of course. So how do they think the Americans are going to do? Sarah, Molly, and Jared are all entered, and all presumably will be looking for personal best. Hall at 37 has been running better than ever. She just got a 2:22.16 at Berlin last year, but she dropped out of the trials. And she's also had 2 personal bests in the half marathon. She went 68.58 in Houston and 68.18 in Oregon just recently. That was like a solo. And then, of course, Seidel is pretty new at the whole thing, so she should be able to take a chunk off her PB, which is 2:27.31. Jared Ward has been doing some great training for the files. Ran a PB at 61.36 while basically training through the Houston half, but in Atlanta he struggled to 2:15.55, 27th place, dealing with foot injury. So it should be interesting if he can challenge his 2:09.25 personal best from Boston. I'm hoping that this race will be on television somewhere. I'm not really sure. I think maybe NBC. I think NBC showed the Tokyo one on that sports channel, which you have to pay for, but it was pretty good coverage. And this should be excellent coverage considering they're running on a loop. And let's hope that they don't break for commercials all the time, even like they did at the Olympic trials and these races. And it's kind of funny. You're on the NBC Sports, which doesn't actually have commercials because you're paying, but they still like on the Olympic trials, would pull the camera away and go on a break, and you just hear people randomly talking in the background, which was just super weird. It's kind of like, hey, I'm paying for this, show me the whole race. Or like the other day, NBC Sports cut out at the Stockholm Diamond League before they showed the men's 1500, and it was a really good race. So who knows, but it's good news that there are races in Europe. They've been having the Diamond League track meets and this major marathon. I'm not sure what's going to be happening here in America, though I have heard that the Marine Corps Marathon is supposed to be happening, so that would be good news as well. And as always, stay healthy, be boring, not epic.